All right, how's it going, guys? So we're back in the feed room today. Gonna get this unloader finished up that we were working on in the last video. So we got to pull this this section out of this arm, and then we have to shorten the chain. We're gonna do 5 links or five knives.
Yeah, you can go one more turn and that's probably good. Yeah.
So we got the chain disconnected. Now we're just gonna pull this center arm out and remove this little section. Just shorten this arm. All right, so we got the chain reattached and now we're tightening it back up. So I got Andrew helping me today a little bit. You can see it's just about 1.5 feet shorter. It's just gonna leave a little space at the edge, just at the beginning when we fill the silo. And then after a couple weeks, we'll have to extend it back out. So once you go to long arm it, you actually have to pull the unloader out of the silo to get to it because there'll be a bunch of feed in here. So this is actually quite a bit easier. So we got everything done. I'm just gonna hand this stuff out to him and then we're gonna clean this floor up a little bit. We got a partial bucket of junk haylage cleaned out of the silo. Put the lid on it there so it's ready to fill. So it is the next day now. I'm gonna get started mowing. We had a few tenths of rain this morning, so we're just waiting for that to dry a little bit. Should be in pretty good shape now. I got my new 10th generation Dairyman shirt on. Feeling pretty good. Yesterday, got the mower hooked up, greased it, checked the knives. We're ready to start running. This is our latest corn. You can see it's 4 inches tall or something. The new Massey Ferguson tractor left this morning. We got a chance to use that for a little bit. It was fun, but it's not gonna stay. Going back to the old John Deere 7130. So I'm just starting right across the road. We got 2 small strips. So this will be second cutting alfalfa. This crop's looking really good. We had mowed first cutting exactly 5 weeks ago today. I'm laying it out as wide as I can. I'll let the sun dry it. Still has moisture from the rain this morning. Ground's a little bit soft too. It's not too bad. So I started in our oldest fields. This field's 3 years old, so the ground's a little more solid than the new seedings. So I stopped in here in the shop because the windrow is not quite laying out the full width that I'd like. And the reason is because there's a piece that's supposed to be on here that you can adjust the height of this, and it broke off, so it's just free floating right now. And when the crop is light, it just stays down, but when I get to the heavy stuff, I start to push this up just a little bit, and then it glances off these and makes it a little bit more narrow. So I'm just gonna stick a bolt through there. Should work. Let's see if it makes a difference. I'd say it's a noticeable difference. I don't know if it's quite a foot wider, but I probably should have done that sooner. Just want to get it spread wide enough it dries good, because going into that harvest store silo, we want it down around 50%. I can just tell the windrows are a lot more even now. There's less clumps in them. It's gonna dry better. So Dad's gonna take over mowing. It's time to feed cows now. So it is the next morning right now. My dad's finishing the cow feeding. So we were just talking, wondering if we should ted a little bit of this crop just because it was kind of heavy. We want to make sure we get it today. We got some rain coming tonight. We'd like it to be nice and dry for the bottom of that silo. We don't have a big tedder ourselves. We usually rent one. We're wondering if that's worth it. We have this single row tedder that just kind of fluffs it up. We don't use it very often. Thinking about just hooking this up and going out and maybe doing a couple fields. The only problem is it's buried behind that little rake and this conveyor, and our spreader's in the way. Well, we realized the pin is missing on this PTO hookup. So we just stuck a bolt through there. It's gonna work. Well, I'm ready to go out and give it a try. I gotta set it a little bit more aggressive, I think. It's hard to know if this is gonna be necessary. It's gonna be a nice sunny day today. Do want to make sure it's dry. So the idea with this is just kind of fluff it up so the air can get underneath it, flip it over a little bit. I'm questioning whether it's worth it, but I think it'll be really good to get a nice dry cutting on the bottom of this silo. It'll feed out a lot better. That unloader will work better. So we dropped the tedder there. Dad took the tractor to go pick up the rake. We're gonna be using that later. The silo lid is open, but not everything's set up there, so I'm gonna climb up and get that ready to go. So to set the silo up to fill, we gotta drop this chute down into place, but first I wanna pull the airbags up There's a couple big airbags inside there that help manage the pressure since it's a sealed silo. Just need to pull them up out of the way so we don't get feet on top of them. That's all ready to go. And there's a side little door that I want to open up as well. Two fields there across the road, small ones. And then that field over there. One field down there, and these 3 new fields right here. So 3 new seatings. It'll probably fill this silo about a third full. I'd like to fit 2nd, 3rd, and 4th cutting in the silo if we can. So it's 4 in the afternoon now. I just wanted to check on this hay a little bit. It's definitely getting dry. Just hear that crunchiness to it. Means we're probably dry enough. We don't want to rake now though, because with these leaves being crunchy like this, hitting them with the rake is going to knock a lot of them off. That's a lot of your nutrient value and yield right there. That would end up falling onto the ground. So we're going to wait till this evening. Once the dew starts to sit a little bit, it'll just soften everything up. I don't know if we can start at 7 o'clock. We might have to wait a little bit later than that. Here's the rake. Looks like my dad forgot to turn his blinkers off. It's a common mistake. Good thing I never make mistakes like that. No, I make mistakes constantly. So I'm gonna go away a little bit this evening. Dad's gonna start raking then. We just wanted to make sure the rake was set up right. It's a little too dry still to start. Well, it's later in the evening now, after 9 p.m. Just setting up the blower. So I just gave him preservative that helps keep the feed from spoiling. I need to get a water hose set up. They like to have that on the blower. It helps the haylage blow better if you got some water going into it. So they got a power unit set up on their blower. They just pull it with the wagon. It's really handy. They can set that in place. You don't have to worry about a tractor. And the thing's an absolute beast. We got that set up. So now when the feed hits against this, it's just gonna shoot water out. Right there. So the first load should be coming in soon. I want to make sure I have the unloader running when the feed starts coming in. So I'm gonna get the tractor mixer in here so I can catch the haylage as it's coming out and take it out of gear so the arm in there isn't moving. It's just the chain will be moving, sitting at one spot. We got the first load coming in, and that's also my dad there with the rake. My dad's gonna take care of that unloader. I'm gonna take over raking. It's already about half done. Just wanted to check the job the rake is doing. I'm realizing I need some better lights on the tractor. I cannot see out to the edges of the rake very well. So I just realized the lights in the back I can actually move, and I was able to adjust them out more towards the edge of the rake there. I think that's gonna be nicer. I'm raking as fast as I can. They're catching up to me. I'm only maybe 5 acres ahead of them. There is an insane amount of bugs in this section of the field. I don't even know what those are. My dad went to bed. I'm just stopping in the feed room to run this unloader one time. Just about done. Just a beast of a rake. Got it done. Yeah, these new seeding fields were pretty light compared to the older stuff. Not surprising at all. We're moving over to the last 2 small fields. We'll be done in 15 minutes. Took about 2.5 hours. It's 11:30. So they're heading out. I'm just gonna run this one last time. It yielded pretty good. We got 10.5 loads. Thought maybe we'd get a little more than that, but not terrible. So I'm gonna close this door, and then I gotta climb the silo and close the doors up there. One thing I don't like about this silo is this gooseneck at the top. It's open on the bottom. If you have dry feet especially, it'll blow a good amount out, make a pile outside. Try to put that inside as best I can, and then we'll close that lid. We have to drop those airbags down in first.